Don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Hey you guys, you already know what it is. It's your girl Shira, and yes, I am back with another video, y'all. So as you guys already know, we are here for part 2 of Baddies Midwest Reunion, y'all. If you've seen it, you already know it's a lot we're going to be getting into for this episode. But if you have not seen it, your girl got you as always. Of course, I'm going to have my notes on standby because I was watching and taking notes at the same time so that we can talk about it together, y'all. So let's jump right into it. But before we do, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to your girl's channel, and also put on that post notification bell so that when you are notified every time I post episodes just like this one, y'all. I'm gonna be doing more like reaction and like recap videos like more often so that we can really like kiki and talk about it, y'all. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna get straight into part 2. What exactly happened, y'all? It was a lot, so we're gonna get straight into it. Let's talk about exactly what went down. Let's go. Okay, y'all, so in the beginning of the episode, we get like a glimpse of exactly what happened in part 1 of the reunion, y'all. And if you don't know like what exactly went down for whatever reason, go look at my episode on part 1. You'll know exactly what happened. So we basically get like a whole recap of what went down. So then, y'all, the episode, it pretty much starts, and Rolly and Diamond, they get into it. They were fighting. That's where we kind of like left off at the end of part 1. But as you guys can see right here, like they look kind of tired after that round. So it was pretty much no reason why they were fighting, but Rolly kind of broke it down as to the reason why. Rolly, she basically like explained why she was saying that Diamond was kind of like talking about like kind of like jumping in the situation as far as Rolly and Slim was concerned. That whole issue that happened on the show, she was upset that kind of like Diamond was interjecting in the situation and she really didn't need to. And if you guys want to know exactly what happened between Rolly and Slim, go back on the show and you guys will see exactly like what went down. I feel like even though Slim, you know, she did like cross a few boundaries, but so did Rolly, but I feel like no one deserves to be treated the way Slim was treated, you know, on the show. And if you guys want to know exactly what happened like in more detail, go back on the show, you guys will see. Diamond was kind of saying that Rolly could have been more compassionate when it came to Slim, and I can understand because, like, you know, it might be a little hard for Rolly to kind of do that, but at the same time, no one deserved to be treated that way. And Slim, even though she did cross bounds and like she knew exactly what she was getting into, I feel like even, you know, when it came to the show, like, why would you try to get back on the show knowing you have a beef with somebody? And then on top of that, like, you already know how baddies get down, so it's gonna be a whole bunch of fighting, a whole bunch of like just rah-rah going on, and why would you even sign up for that whole situation? But I don't think anybody expect for Rolly to, you know, make that girl her assistant. Like, nobody was expecting that at all. So when all that went down on the show, you guys will see, when all that went down, it was pretty much like why would you even do that? Like, just cut the girl off. Like, why even put her through all that? But I thought it was just really weird, like the whole mistreatment when it came down to Slim. So hopefully when Slim come out on the reunion stage, she kind of like, you know, voice how she feel about the whole situation. Y'all, but this is the part that got me. So Diamond, after all that talking they did, she wanted to fight Rolly again, but Rolly was like, I'm not going to fight you. But Diamond, she still wanted to fight again until she felt like she won. I guess she felt like she lost the other ones, but like, girl, you really want to like keep fighting until you win? Like, what? Like, that's so childish to me. Like, just take your L and move forward, and next time just keep your mouth shut. That's all. But you know, she wanted to do that, and Rolly was not having it. But everybody was like, you know what, Rolly, just fight her one good time, like, so that she can shut up, you know. But it went nowhere. Like, it was just a whole bunch of hair pulling. It never went anywhere. So that was that. Now Diamond, she did make a point. She was saying like Rolly, all she really wanted to do was fight like smaller girls instead of girls that really can like take her on, which is kind of true because I barely even seen Rolly really get into it with anyone her size, but it was barely anybody on the show that was her size, you know. But you know, it was kind of like hard to understand that, but I get it in a way because, you know. But at the same time, you can't really say that because Rolly, she's a type, like, you know, she stand on business, not matter what size you are, you know. But I think that point, it was valid in a way. It was valid, but you know, that's what she said. Okay, so here, like, once everything like with that whole Rolly and Diamond situation kind of like calmed down, Diamond, she kind of like got the floor and kind of explained, you know, what exactly was the reason why she kind of like came for Natalie in the beginning of the episode. She smacked Natalie or punched her, whatever she did, like when she caught herself trying to hug her. But she kind of like explained what happened. So basically she was saying that Natalie, she went on live like just running her mouth, and then right after all that, right after she said what she said on her live about Diamond and some of the other baddies, Natalie kind of like text her, either call her right after that. So Diamond, because Natalie was trying to basically say like that wasn't the truth, that's not what happened. But Diamond, she did bring receipts, so clock that. She did bring receipts. But all in all, like Natalie, she was having a problem with like Diamond basically allowing her best friend, that's aside from the show, to kind of like disrespect or even jump some of the other baddies. But I get it, because why are you even bringing outside people? But some of them do it too, so it's not any different because some of the other ladies do it too. But I do understand like where Diamond is kind of like coming from, because you can't expect Diamond to be more loyal to her co-workers than her own best friend. But Natalie, she is like, the orchestrator of this whole thing, and if she's saying like to keep the other girls outside, that's what she mean. Like, don't even mix the two, because it's just going to be a whole bunch of drama, a whole bunch of fighting, a whole bunch of confusion. But then, y'all, Diamond, she called herself trying to say that she wanted to fight Natalie because Natalie was trying to deny the fact that she didn't go live first. She texted Diamond to kind of like, figure things out with her first and then went live. But according to the receipt that was played on the screen, Natalie was wrong. But Diamond, she wanted to fight Natalie, and Natalie was like, listen, I don't have to fight you. I am the boss, okay? I don't have to fight y'all. I don't have to fight y'all to be seen. I don't have to do none of that clout chasing stuff that Diamond do, Now, when Natalie was doing all this, y'all, I was just like, girl, like when she was like kicking her feet, saying like, listen, I kick girls like you. Like, I literally treat y'all like nothing. Like, not treat y'all like nothing, but she was saying like, you are the little version of me. Like, you wish you was big dog, you little dog. Like, basically, like trying to sun her in a way. But it's like, why do all that and then you want to turn around and say, you know what, Diamond is good TV, we're gonna bring her back for another season? Like, what? If somebody literally smacked me on national TV and do all that, you went berserk all backstage, you just went ham, you really upset about the whole situation because you was basically embarrassed, why bring this girl back? I feel like Diamond do not deserve to be brought back. But I mean, you just never know when it comes to Natalie. You just never know where she coming, where she coming from. But at the same time, Diamond, you knew what she was doing. You just wanted a moment, and I felt like this was just wrong altogether. But Natalie straight told her, like, listen, I don't have to fight you. I don't have to do all the extra stuff that y'all do just to be on the stage. Like, I can be here. Like, this is my stuff, So then, y'all, I thought this part right here was hilarious. So in the midst of all that, Diamond, she grabs the mic from Bobby, talking about she want to fight, she feel like fighting, she want to fight. So then, like, everybody like, okay, do you want to fight Tasiki? Mind you, Tasiki had walked off the stage, kind of like, because it was just too much going on, and I don't blame her, because I would have left too. But listen, she walked off the stage, and then she came back, and then she was like, what, you want to fight me? Like, she was, checking Diamond's temperature for real. And Diamond was like, oh no. She straight told her, like, no, I learned my lesson. And I don't blame her, because like, this girl literally took your tooth out. Like, what? Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to fight her either. Okay, Diamond was just like literally cloud chasing the whole season, and I feel like most people, they were trying to take her serious, but I don't think anybody can, because if you don't take yourself serious, nobody will ever take you serious, But she didn't want none of those issues. She didn't want no problem with Tasiki, and I don't blame you, girl. I don't blame you. Okay, Tasiki is lethal. So Bobby, he asked Natalie, like, listen, like, are you gonna bring her back for another season? Like, what's going on? Like, what you want to do? Natalie, she was saying like, she'll bring her back, but it's just like, I can understand why you're conflicted. Like, girl, this girl just smacked you. Why are you trying to bring her back? I'm like, no, Natalie, no, don't bring this girl back. Like, but child, you just never know, okay? And y'all, I definitely wanted to mention this right here. Like, when Diamond was doing all her little antics, she was doing all that, this was Tasiki, and I don't blame you, because I would have been the same way. Like, girl, if you don't sit down but I smack you, like like, listen, I love Tasiki. I love the fact that she's real and honest, and she is just like Ivory. Like, she really don't buck up on people until she's provoked. So like, you don't provoke people like her, because she will really end you for real. If she wanted to, she will really end you. So Natalie, she was saying that she would definitely bring Diamond back, but the only issue she had with Diamond was the thing with Diamond's best friend and Anna, and Diamond was upset that Natalie kind of like chimed in on that. But like, why does this girl have to come back? That's my thing. But according to Anna, like, the whole thing was a misunderstanding. Like, her and Diamond is still cool. I wasn't really sure as to how Diamond's friend and Anna is, but I feel like if Diamond keep the two separate, I think that'll be in her best interest. So y'all, this scene right here, this little segment right here, it wrapped up with Diamond. She kind of like checking Biggie because of the whole situation that happened at the Baddies Africa auditions. Them two ended up getting into it, But she was saying like Biggie, like she really liked Biggie, and like even her and Biggie, they kind of like linked up after the show. She went to Biggie's city and kind of like hyped her up. Like she really liked Biggie. Biggie wasn't returning her phone calls and all that, so she trying to figure out like, is there an issue with her? Like if she don't like Diamond, like it's okay, whatever it is. Like she's just trying to figure out where her and Biggie stand. So Biggie really didn't say much. It was just like Biggie, she was just keeping it like neutral, because I think Biggie was really boring this season. That's what I think, because she had a lot to say in her confessional. She was one of the main ones that was really popping it for real. But in the scene, she was trying to keep it all cool, calm, and collected. Like, girl, in your confessionals, you was coming out with props and doing all that. It was just a lot. So the whole conversation with Diamond and Biggie, that was kind of like put on pause so that way more baddies can come out on the stage. Now, here is Big Lex, here's Dolly, and here's Summer. These three, they coming out. But remember when I said that the newbies did they big one on the show? Now you guys will see exactly what I mean. Like, they were literally on fire. Check this out. When the ladies came out, they was looking for Scotty and Jayla, and they went to war. They was not playing. But this is what I don't like. Like, oh, why do y'all have to jump? Like, the whole jumping idea that they like doing, that's really weird to me. It's really weird. And y'all, like, I felt bad for Scotty. Like, I felt bad for her because she's not really a fighter. But I feel like, Scotty can definitely defend herself. But it took her a minute to get there. Like, when we were first introduced to Scotty, she wasn't really like a fighter. But, like, she wasn't really like a scaredy cat either. Like, she really held her own. But I feel like as the seasons, went on, she definitely developed like her sense of self and her sense of like self-defense, which is really like commendable. But this right here, I feel like it was really whack for them to try to like jump her. I don't care like if all y'all have an issue with this one person, y'all still are not supposed to jump. Like, that's really weird to me. You can literally tell that this whole like Scotty and Jayla, like the whole jumping thing, you can tell it was planned from like the jump. You can tell. But it's really weird how they were so much against jumping, but they ended up jumping and stuff like towards the end of the show because they felt like the OGs were being very hypocritical, which is true because they were saying like that was one of the rules, but then they were doing it also. But that doesn't mean like if I'm a grown woman, I don't care what the next girl is doing or not doing. Like if I know something is wrong, I'm not going to now do it because somebody else is doing it. But it was just weird. You can definitely tell like the whole jumping idea, especially when it came to Scotty, you can tell it was planned. Like you can always tell. Hey y'all, so this part right here, I feel like this was the whole highlight of the whole episode. So y'all look, Dolly, Bad Dolly, her. She decides to run up on Tasiki. Now, I feel like everybody on the cast is scared of Tasiki, which is understandable because the girl does not play when it comes to her hands. Okay, but Dolly, you were very brave for trying to do that. But it was like, what was the reason? Like, I didn't really understand why they fought, but they ended up getting into it, and as you guys already know, Tasiki literally slain that girl. Okay, Bad Dolly, she really didn't even have a chance for real because she was already done before the fight even began. Like as everyone was pretty much having their, or at least trying to have their one-on-one fights with whoever they had an issue with. Of course, Summer and Lex, they still were jumping. Bad Dolly, even though she was getting into it with Tasiki, they were still on the whole jumping train. Like basically the whole episode they wanted to jump and they was really gunning for Scotty. But when the other ladies, like when Pretty P came out, they were still on that jumping stuff. Like it was just really weird, y'all. But look, as the episode moves on, we get a glimpse of the audience reaction to Tasiki and Dolly's fight, and like everybody is just stunned. Like they are just so nervous for Dolly. Like, girl, are you okay? Because if you've seen the actual season of Baddies Midwest, Dolly, she was constantly hurt. Like after every fight she got into with whoever, she was always hurting herself. Like either her hand, like it was just a lot. So when you fight into Tasiki, like somebody that is really a hitter for real, that girl was fragile. Okay, fragile. And y'all think that Anna is fragile even though she's skinny and she's small, but no, Dolly, you was literally hurting up yourself and you wanted to fight Tasiki. Child, that's literally like suicide. But y'all, it was a lot in that fight. It was a lot going on. It was a lot. So y'all, while that was going on, Bobby is literally trying to calm everybody down, but that is not working whatsoever because everybody is just stunned. Like people is laughing, people is just like nervous. They trying to figure out like, is that girl okay? But Dolly, she ended up like dabbing it up with like some of the audience members, like, yeah, like I'm here, like I still have my teeth, like trying to brag, saying like, yeah, I fought the big dog and I'm okay, like no scratch marks, no none of, like girl, like, because you fought Tasiki, you think you big dog? Like, you think you really like that for real? Like, no. I feel like Dolly was the same. Like, yeah, she might have fought, but guess what? It was only on the strength of Summer and Lex. Like, as far as like her one-on-one, she wasn't really like as powerful. But with the whole jumping thing that they were on, like, she was at her most, like, she was at her most powerful self when it came down to the jumping stuff, but not her one-on-ones. Like, I thought that was weird. But Bobby, he tried his best to calm them down, but of course it was no good. It was no luck. Meanwhile, backstage, we get a glimpse of Tasiki, like, right after the fight. She kind of like leaves the set to go back to her room because she's done. Like, she felt like people were like playing with her when it came down to her hands. She felt like people wasn't really like taking her serious, and she was saying like, y'all gonna stop playing with me. Like, the only powerful three, like the only big three that is on the show is her, Biggie, and Anna, not Lex, not Dolly, and not Summer. So Tasiki definitely did her big one. But this is like where I kind of like got confused, because she was really upset, like as if she lost. But I understand her frustration, because people are going to stop playing with my time, like, they're playing on my top. Like, her and Dolly, they didn't even have, even though they did fight on the show, like, it wasn't a really big like beef on the show between the two. So I was really confused on why they even fought. But this is hilarious right here. You see Biggie right behind Tasiki looking like her manager. Like, Biggie, I really feel like the only reason why she's really friends with Tasiki is because she's really like, a good fighter, and Biggie is not that much of a fighter. So whenever Biggie has her issues, she feel like Tasiki is going to jump in and fight her battles. But because that's what it's kind of given. But like, this scene right here was hilarious. And y'all, when she got back to her room, she's kind of like taking off her shoes and stuff. Like, she's really upset. She's hitting TV, she's hitting walls, and as you guys can see, this man, like right here, he is like nervous. Like, he don't know what to expect, because she is on go, and like, she just snapping at whoever at this point. But she's getting her stuff ready to leave. Like, she don't even want to be there no more, and I don't blame her, because it was just a lot going on. So then, y'all, we go back to the Baddies stage, and there's blood on the floor. Like, it was just a lot, y'all. It was blood on the floor. I think the Baddies really like did it too much. Like, of course, you already know you're going to come to the reunion, you're going to do your big one, but like, to have blood on the stage is crazy. I think everyone was pretty like really like nervous about the whole situation, especially when it came to the Dolly and Tasiki's fight. And Saucy Santana, he called it in the beginning. Like, he said he wanted Dolly and Tasiki to fight. But I don't remember. If y'all remember, like, if they had previous beef, let me know in the comments, because I don't really remember if they even had like a little issue online maybe after the show, or I really didn't know why they fought in the first place. I really didn't know. But that fight was literally the highlight of the episode, if you ask me. So y'all, of course, it was more jumping. The ladies still wanted to jump Scotty. As you guys can see, Scotty is right here on the floor, like, she's trying to kick for dear life, like trying to get these girls off of her, because like, she's on the floor and Scotty is pretty tall. So like, to have 3 girls trying to fight you at once, like, girl, you have to be strong. You have to have a good backbone to be able to do that. Okay, but she's trying her hardest, trying to get these girls off of her. But the rest of the ladies, they were not having to jump and stuff. Like, they didn't want all that going down, but it definitely went down. And then after that, Summer and Scotty, they finally had their one-on-one fight. Of course, they tried, but that definitely went nowhere, because you already know Summer is not, to me, I don't think she's a good fighter, but of course she has the mouth to back it up, whatever. But it was just pointless for real, because Scotty's not really a fighter, and there wasn't really no beef for real. It was just Summer running her mouth. That's all. Like, that was literally all. Meanwhile, like, during this scene, y'all, Anna, she tries to run backstage to come like catch Big Lex off guard, but she later ended up finding Summer, and then them two ended up fighting. So it was just a lot going on, especially in this part right here. Okay, y'all, so fast forward, as you guys can see, Tasiki is getting ready to leave. She's just done with the reunion altogether, and Anna, she meets up with Tasiki, and she's really upset at the fact that her and Biggie was really like at odds once again. Mind you, as you guys remember, them two were like thick as thieves on the stage when they first came out, but now it just went completely south, like really fast. Anna is really upset and really disappointed in Biggie, because she feel like Biggie literally watched these girls try to jump her, like Summer, Lex, and Dolly. Like, she's trying to tell Tasiki that like, Biggie literally watched me get jumped and did nothing about it. She didn't even try to break them up, didn't try to fight with me, try to fight them with me, nothing. Like, and that's true. Biggie did not try to help her friend whatsoever. all of that they was doing, like falling like off the couch and like just laughing it up and like kikiing, and they were like really close on stage, like really bonding, because they were really friends for real. But when it came down to it, why are you letting your friend get jumped? Like, that was really weird to me. Like, I would never let any of my friends get jumped, let alone right in my face. Like, what? Are you kidding me? But she was kind of like expressing herself to Sasiki, and Biggie is on the other side of the car yelling, trying to defend herself in whatever way, but it definitely went nowhere. Biggie felt like she needed to be respected a little bit more, and Anna really has like a reckless mouth and don't know when to like pipe down. But guess what? Like, Biggie, you have to stand up for your friend, even though she's a little rah-rah, but guess what? Stand up for your friend. Like, don't be her friend when everything is good. Be her friend even when things are not going so well. Like, when she's getting jumped. Hello, like, stand up for your friend. But Biggie, she did make a good point when she was saying, like, I am not you. Like, stop projecting your stuff on me. Like, stop doing that. Like, I am myself. You can't expect me to fight your battles, girl. If you guys kind of like seen online, like the two kind of like had their words online as far as this whole situation was concerned. After this episode aired, Biggie was saying like, she's completely done, and Anna has said like some really out of pocket stuff, like, so she's really just done. Like, she's really just tired of people playing on her top. I'm like, but Biggie, you have to like admit that you could have did better as far as defending your friend when these girls were jumping your friend. You can't just sit there and want to be cool, calm, and collected and like, just be the chill big Dominican. But it's like, your friend is getting jumped. What are you gonna do? Like, you don't have to fight every battle, but listen, like, at least try to break it up. You don't even try to break these girls off for your friend. Like, you literally just like did nothing. And Anna, like, she is really hurt by that because y'all two were really close. Like, y'all were calling each other like cousins, and like y'all were really close for real. So I hope they commend it. If not, like, listen, some things you just can't come back from, Anna, she expressed to Tasiki that Scotty and Jayla definitely had her back more than Biggie did. So even though all of those ladies are friends, Biggie, why are you letting other ladies like kind of like defend your friend more than you? Like, even though you all can defend each other, but at the same time, it's like, Biggie, you and Anna were really close. Like, you guys are really close. So why are you letting this girl? As you guys can see, her outfit is even torn in the back. So she was really like getting into it. So you can't let your friend literally like go through that alone, and you sitting right there, because you clearly are not a friend if you're doing that. So she was really hurt by that, and that's really understandable. So y'all, we gets back on stage, and Janisha and Saucy Santana, they're asking the ladies, these three right here, like, how it's been in the house. Like, Dolly, she just fought Tasiki. Like, they're kind of like recapping about that. And then Janisha, she was asking Big Lex right here, like, who else do you have like beef with? So Lex was saying like, listen, Scotty, of course, and Jayla, like, because Lex, she was saying like she really didn't get the one-on-one, and like them two, like, they kept running their mouth about different stuff, and like she was just over it, so she just wanted to fight them. That was it. But y'all, what I didn't like was the fact that she was saying that she wanted to fight Scotty only because Scotty had an issue with Summer. That's not a good enough reason to do all that with somebody. Here it is, people is like literally bleeding because it was blood on the stage. So you're doing all that over a beef that wasn't even yours. Now, I don't know if that was her blood or not, but it's like, as you guys can see, the reunion is like really intense. So you want to be doing all this fighting and stuff over something that had nothing to do with you? Like, that don't make any sense to me. It don't. I feel like these ladies literally need to just stick to their beef and their beef alone, and stop trying to interject in everybody else's business, and just worry about what you got going on. Whoever you got beef with, do that, and that's it. So Lex right here, as you guys can see, she calls Jayla out, she calls Scotty out, whoever. She said one of y'all, like, she wants to fight right now, but the ladies did not want any smoke. Like, they didn't want to fight. Like, I feel like they were kind of like tired, because they definitely, all of them, every last one of them, kind of like, it was just a lot going on in that previous scene, so they must have been tired. But I don't know. But they didn't want no smoke. And then Jaden comes out, y'all. So as you guys can see, she looks pretty. I love the hair on her. I love the color. But this dress, like, at the bottom is like really thin. It's really like see-through. I feel like for these reunions, like, come classy, or like if you want to come like with a tracksuit on because you're fighting, like, that's understandable. But like, if you want to dress up, like, come on, be classy with it. Cause like the see-through dresses are like beyond me. Jaden had expressed that she really didn't have any beefs for real, but her little like scuffle between her and Biggie, that whole thing on the show, it really didn't go anywhere. Like the two just like existed amongst each other, but there was no like reconciliation going on. Like it was just that. She was saying like the last time she saw Biggie was the last time she seen her. Like there was no like conversation with the two, so that was just that. Like she don't feel like she have any beef unless somebody got a beef with her and she don't know about it. But that was pretty much it with that. Then y'all, Diamond, she talking about something. She got a booking, so she gotta leave. Girl, you was on this season, even though she did leave because she had like issues at home. But people were saying like she was lying, so I don't know. But she ended up leaving the season early. But she was saying that she had to leave because she had a booking. She had to get up early, and she ended up leaving. I'm like, girl, what? Before she leaves, she kind of like pleads for her job on Baddies Africa one more time. She trying to hug all the ladies, especially like hugging Natalie right after the situation in part 1. Like it was just crazy, but like Natalie kind of like she didn't really embrace it at first. But y'all check this part out, y'all. The two ended up hugging, y'all. So this right here was like a really weird moment. I don't know if she even got her job yet. I believe she did because we've seen like some clips about Baddies Africa like online, but we shall see like when the show actually come out like what's up with Diamond. Cause this right here was just really weird. Like ain't no way this girl about to slap me, punch me, whatever on live TV. Here it is, I'm your boss. You doing that to me, and you think you gonna have your job back? No, girl, you're done. So y'all, then Ivory comes out with Pretty Pink, and here's Jazz. And as you guys can see, Jazz, she came out. She did change her outfit, as you guys already know, because she mentioned that before. And like when it comes down to these reunions, sometimes it's good to underdress because, as you guys can see, it's blood on the floor. There's a whole bunch of fighting. Like, who's doing that with a whole gown on? Even though it's a reunion, you want to come cute, but not the Baddies reunion. Like this is not a Housewives reunion. As you guys can see, Real Housewives of whatever, like every Housewives show, those reunions are very classy, very like upscale. But this right here, these reunions are very like raunchy. It's very like war zone ish. So it's no point even coming classy, girl. Like you already know. So Ivory, she walks right up to Lex like she already is on 10, like she's already on go. The two ended up getting into it, and yeah, like that was one of the fights. Then Pretty P, she ended up getting into it with Summer, but Summer wanted to fight her and she wanted to fight Jazz, but as you already know, they was already on their jump and stuff, but Lex was already fighting Ivory, so it was just that. Now these two, I feel like these two are kind of like around the same height. They definitely had their issues on the show, especially remember that episode when they had to fight, all because I think it was Natalie that moved Ivory's name tag or something on her room, but Lex, I think her and Lex was kind of like beefing, but Natalie put her in her room, something like that. But them two ended up fighting because both of them was not going to stay in the same room, but they ended up fighting about that whole room situation, which was weird. But they did have their issues and their moments on the show, but it wasn't like long term, but they did have some issues for sure on the show. But I guess after the show they must have had like some more beef going on, because I thought like when the show kind of ended, the two, I mean, they kind of like coexisted, but they wasn't besties. But I guess some online stuff must have been popping off again. It's always online stuff. It's always. But the two ended up getting into it again, and yeah, here it is, y'all. So here's some of the images from the major fight. Jasmine and Pretty P, they was getting into it with Summer, and I believe Scotty was also getting into it as well. Like the ladies were not playing because Summer and Dolly, like they was really on that jump and stuff, which was weird. Here's another image from the fight. Like as you guys can see, I believe Summer's mouth is bleeding, so the ladies were really like getting into it. They were really getting into it. Then Lex and Ivory went again. They wanted another round. They were just going like round after round after round. I really couldn't tell like who really won for real, because both of the ladies can really handle their own, but it was just really pointless for real. Like I think that fight right there, like them two, I think that fight was really like predictable because of their fights on the show, but it wasn't really like exciting or like oh snap, like it was none of that. Here's another glimpse of like the whole like jumper situation that Summer and them was on. Like all the ladies were kind of like fighting each other, and it was just like I don't really think Zeus have enough security, because these baddie reunions, it's no way all this is going on, and like these like guys right here, I don't know, y'all. I don't think it's enough security. What y'all think? I don't think it's enough. Here's a really good image of that fight between Lex and Ivory. This is when like their fight kind of like really good because Ivory was able to get like a good one on Lex. As you guys can see, Summer was trying to like interject once again in the fight. Like, girl, if you don't go handle your own issues with those other ladies and leave Lex fight alone, like it was just given like very much like they already had that plan from jump in and like to really like jump people on the show on the reunion stage, but it wasn't given that. Definitely wasn't given like that was going to last long. Definitely wasn't going to given that was needed because they can all handle their own individually. Like why do they have to jump? This part right here was hilarious because as you guys can see, Jada was not having that jumping stuff. Like she was like, no, we're not jumping, like none of that, like take this off of me. She was taking off her chains and stuff. Like she was not with that fighting stuff and that jumping stuff. Like I don't blame you, girl, because I would have been the same way. Like why are we jumping? Like stop. Yo, I really think this is the most action that Jaden had all like season, because really like for the season she wasn't really like as active or as vocal on the show. Like she had her moments like with Biggie, but other than that, she was really quiet all season. So I was really surprised to see this version of her on the reunion stage, like as far as the jumping, which is good. Don't get me wrong, because, you know, period. But yeah, this is the most we seen from her. And then you guys, this is when the episode ends, y'all. This is when it ends. So then, of course, as always, we're going to get a glimpse of what exactly is going to happen in part 3, y'all. So check this out. So here, right here, y'all, we see, I think this is Jazz, Summer, and I believe it's Jaden. Yeah, Jaden. So they ended up getting into it. It was just like a whole bunch of, again, jumping. Nobody wants to do one-on-one. Like it was just a whole bunch of that. And then Lex, she finally gets her one-on-one fight with Jayla. But guess what, y'all? Jayla, she bites Lex. Keep in mind, remember when Gretchen was a Gretch? Yeah, Gretch from, what was that, Caribbean? Or like the previous year. The previous season, she bit Jayla, and Jayla had a whole issue with that. But now she's on the biting. Like, I thought that was weird. Now, keep in mind, in this season, right? Not the season, but this scene right here, Big Lex, she really don't say who bit her, but it was clear that it was Jayla. So it was clear because she just fought Jayla. So I thought that was really weird considering how Jayla felt when she got bit. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, then we have Summer and Dolly. They individually fought Jazz, and there was just a lot that Jazz like dealt with as far as the scene right here, like this part. But I don't remember if Dolly and Jazz even had beef. So I thought this was really like weird to see. But when you're dealing with weirdos like Dolly and Summer, like that, you know, all they want to do is jump. When you're dealing with people like that, you just gotta be on the swivel. You have to be, you know, on the look out to see like where are they coming from, because people like that, you just never know. With the whole jumping stuff that they want to do, you just never know how they coming. So you just gotta be prepared. That's all. Be prepared. Then this part right here, y'all, was the kicker. Biggie, she gets confronted about her whole behavior when it came down to Anna, and Anna, you know, not being defended. Like, Biggie, you being her friend, you should have did more. Definitely should have did more. But the ladies are not letting up on Biggie. Like, they're letting her have it, y'all. Because, like, period. Like, why are you letting your friend get jumped and you just like being cool? You clearly are not my friend. So Anna, she's pretty much like voicing how hurt she is, like as far as Biggie not really defending her, and how Scotty and Jayla basically was defending her and trying to get those other ladies off of her. They were doing more than what Biggie was doing, but I felt like Biggie, like, stop with the whole like cool kind of collected kind of vibe. Like, it's not working for you, because guess what? Not only are you not trying to stand up for your own self, you're not even trying to help your friends out when they're getting jumped. So it's like, Biggie, I don't know. Hopefully, if they bring her back for Baddies Africa, she needs to fix it, because I know she was on like Baddie timeout, whatever they call it. So I don't think she's coming back. But if she do ended up coming back, even if it's on like another season in the future, hopefully she gets this together. So y'all, we get a glimpse of Anna backstage, kind of like telling Rolly how she feels, and like she is really hurt by Biggie, and I don't blame her, because like her and Biggie are really close, and she really wanted her friend to at least help her, like, get these girls off of me. Like, I'm sitting here trying to fight. Here it is, I'm all small and frail, and these 3 girls are trying to jump on little old me, and here it is, you're my big Dominican friend, like, you're my friend, you're supposed to be helping me. But it was just a sad thing to see, like, especially this scene right here. Like, this girl is hurt, y'all. So then, like, Summer, she gets her little, you know, her little time to kind of like speak on like the issues and stuff. She was saying, like, as far as Scotty was concerned, She was telling Scotty that the stuff between her and Natalie, especially when it came down to like the last episode of the season, she was saying like all of that was fake. Y'all really fake and weird for that. Like Summer was just calling it out. Then we get like another glimpse of her and Jazz pretty much getting into it. So Jazz, like, she took off her wig, like she was not playing. So this is a glimpse from that. And then this right here, I believe this is Ivory. She's confronting Summer about something. I don't know if it was something that Summer said, but Summer is constantly running her mouth. So you just never know when it comes to this girl. But them two ended up getting into it. And that was pretty much it, y'all, for this part. So it was a lot of drama. It was definitely a lot of drama, a lot of crying, a lot of like just a lot of rah-rah going on in this part, y'all. So I'm interested to see, like, I'm really interested in part 3. I really want to know what exactly is going to happen. Like, how are we going to wrap this whole reunion up? Because there's a lot going on. Like, it's time to wrap this up. So y'all, this is pretty much done for my episode right here for the part 2, you guys. So now listen, let me know in the comments, y'all, what exactly do y'all think is going to happen? Like, what do y'all think is going to happen in part 3? I have a few predictions. I think that I don't know who else is coming out. I think Slim, she's supposed to be coming out, so hopefully she gets her turn to kind of like explain her side of things, because I feel like that whole topic like of her being like the assistant, that was like a big thing as far as the season was concerned. So hopefully she gets her like time to kind of like explain everything. But like as far as the rest of the ladies, like they are handling theirs. I feel like the whole jumping stuff definitely have to stop, because it's just like weird. It's really corny to me. But y'all, thank you guys so much for watching, you guys. This is the end of this video. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, y'all, because I want to get straight into like all of the mess as far as part 3 when it comes, y'all. So when it comes, I'm definitely gonna be writing my notes down so that we can definitely talk about it, y'all. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you guys for loving on me as I love on y'all. And yeah, y'all, I will see you guys in part 3. I'm gonna see y'all in part 3, y'all. So peace out, y'all. I love y'all. See y'all.